You can wear the most expensive clothes, have flawless hair, and be in dream physical shape, and still quietly push people away without ever realizing it. Think about it for a second. You definitely know this feeling. You meet someone who looks incredible on the outside, but after just 5 minutes of talking to them, you are desperately searching for an excuse to walk away. Maybe they only talk about themselves. Maybe their eyes keep darting down to their phone screen while you are speaking. Maybe they love tearing down people who aren't in the room to defend themselves. Or simply because being around them feels like they are draining your energy. And here is the uncomfortable truth. You might be unconsciously doing a smaller version of the exact same things. Not because you are a bad or selfish person, but because these tiny social habits have been repeated for so long that they have become your automatic reflexes. And the scariest part is, nobody is going to brave the awkwardness to step up and tell you to your face what you are doing wrong. They just stay quiet and slowly fade away, no longer wanting to share the same space with you. Real attractiveness has never been just about the physical shape of your face or the numbers on a scale. True magnetism is an emotional experience. It is the feeling of safety, being genuinely heard, and feeling respected that you create for the people around you. Your looks might open the first door, but your daily habits are what decide whether people want to step inside and stay, or immediately turn around and leave. Here are 7 everyday habits that are quietly ruining your attractiveness, and exactly how to replace them with a warm, confident, and deeply respected presence. Habit number 1. Turning every conversation into a negative space. Most people who carry negative energy never see themselves as negative. They defend themselves by saying, "I'm just being honest and realistic." But pay attention to how they communicate. They constantly complain about their jobs, point out tiny flaws, bring up stressful news headlines, or immediately find a reason why every new idea is bound to fail. Sharing a little bit of exhaustion every now and then is completely normal human behavior. But the problem becomes toxic when chronic negativity turns into your default language. Imagine a friend excitedly tells you they just landed a new job. Your immediate reflex is to drop a cold comment. Just wait. Give it a few months, and every job turns out to be terrible eventually. You might feel proud that you are offering them a dose of reality. But to the person listening, you just crushed their rare spark of joy. Chronic negativity is exactly like secondhand smoke in a closed room. You might be so used to living in that smoke that you don't even smell how bad it is anymore. But the people around you are suffocating, and their survival instincts will force them to get away from you. Starting today, right before you open your mouth to make a pessimistic comment or a complaint, pause for 1 second and ask yourself, is what I am about to say actually useful? Is it necessary? Or am I just saying this because complaining feels familiar? Apply the balance rule. If you complain about a problem, force yourself to propose a solution with it. If you point out a flaw, acknowledge at least one thing that is working well. Never mistake bitterness and pessimism for intellectual depth. Habit number 2. Making people compete with a screen. So many people think that glancing down at their phone for a few seconds while someone else is talking is a harmless habit. But in behavioral psychology, that tiny action broadcasts a brutal message. Whatever random notification pops up on this internet screen could easily become more important than your existence right now. Even if your ears are still physically hearing what they are saying, your body language has already announced your absence. When a friend is opening up about a difficult day and you just give a mechanical nod while your eyes stay glued to your glowing screen, they instantly shrink back. They wrap up their story early because they feel like a burden intruding on your time. Your attention is like an empty chair at a dining table. If your phone is always sitting proudly in that chair, the person sitting across from you will never feel like they are truly sharing a space with you. Undivided, focused listening is the highest form of respect. During conversations, practice a minimalist rule. Turn your phone face down on the table or put it away in your pocket entirely. Look directly into the eyes of the person speaking to you. Listen with genuine curiosity and ask a follow-up question based on what they just shared. Gift people 5 uninterrupted minutes of your attention. That single act will make you 100 times more magnetic and memorable than trying to sound smart or important. Habit number 3. Using gossip to create connection. Gossip and talking behind people's backs always carry a seductive power. They create an artificial, lightning-fast sense of intimacy. When you and another person sit together judging and tearing down a third person who isn't there, you both instantly feel like you belong to the same team, the same secret alliance. But look deeper into human psychology. In the exact moment you are laughing and trashing someone else to win over the person in front of you, a defensive question automatically fires off in their brain. If this person can so easily betray someone else's privacy just to make small talk, what on earth are they going to say about me the second I walk out of this room? A relationship built on gossip is like a house built on thin ice. It can go up very fast, but nobody standing inside that house ever feels truly safe or secure. Gossip might win you cheap attention in the short term, but it quietly destroys all the long-term trust people have in you. When a conversation starts drifting into backbiting, actively steer the wheel, gently change the subject, offer a more compassionate perspective, or simply refuse to participate by staying silent. Instead of trying to bond over a shared enemy, practice bonding over shared interests, real-life experiences, future goals, and clean humor that doesn't require a victim. Habit number 4. Fishing for validation to soothe your ego. Fishing for validation doesn't always look loud and arrogant. Sometimes it hides under a clever mask of fake self-deprecation. You deliberately insult your own appearance just to wait for someone else to argue against it. You casually mention a major achievement, but pretend it was no big deal. You post sad, vague social media updates just to check how many people reach out to ask if you're okay. You constantly ask your partner or friends, "Are you mad at me?" just to hear them reassure you. You say out loud, "I look so ugly and terrible today." In reality, you don't actually want to share a genuine feeling. You are throwing out a fishing hook and waiting for the other person to do the emotional labor of unhooking it by replying, "No way, you look absolutely gorgeous." When this behavior repeats over and over, you turn ordinary conversations into exhausting emotional chores, where other people are forced to continuously pump up your fragile self-esteem. An ego that constantly demands external validation is like a cup with a hole in the bottom. People can patiently pour compliments and reassurance into that cup all day long, but you will still empty out quickly and keep demanding more. When you feel insecurity rising and want to fish for a compliment, pause and ask yourself, do I actually need to share information right now? Or am I just begging for a dose of ego-soothing? Learn to validate your own worth from within. And when someone genuinely gives you a compliment, receive it with grace and humility by simply saying, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate that." No deflecting, no arguing, no throwing out hooks for more. The first 4 habits we just covered are behaviors that change how people feel during a conversation. But these next 3 habits are the ultimate deal breakers. They completely expose the true character and substance underneath your surface. Habit number 5. Becoming instantly defensive over every piece of feedback. A hyper-defensive person treats every minor correction like an act of war. When they receive constructive feedback, their reflex is to immediately interrupt with excuses, blame external circumstances, attack the other person's past mistakes, and turn a minor professional note into a bloody battle to defend their personal honor. They have a desperate, burning need to prove that they are never, ever wrong. When a colleague gently notes, This report structure was a little confusing to follow. A defensive person instantly explodes. Well, nobody sent me the right data, and the initial instructions made 0 sense. Your reasons might actually be valid. But that aggressive explosion just slammed the door on a valuable opportunity to ask, which part felt unclear to you? Let's fix it. Chronic defensiveness is exactly like wearing a suit of heavy iron armor. Yes, it successfully keeps the arrows of criticism from hitting you. But at the exact same time, it completely blocks connection, trust, and personal growth from ever reaching you. When you spike your armor at every critique, people eventually realize it is impossible to be honest with you. If you treat every correction like an insult, then personal growth will always feel like humiliation. Next time you have to receive feedback or criticism, apply the silent 3-step rule. Do not interrupt until they are completely done speaking. Take a deep, slow breath to calm your ego. And separate your behavior entirely from your human identity. You can calmly say, I might not agree with all of this yet, but I really want to understand your perspective so we can improve. A person who can listen to correction with a calm demeanor possesses a deeply grounded and irresistible magnetism. Habit number 6. Being kind only when it benefits you. Some people wear 2 completely different faces. They are charming, sweet, and endlessly patient when standing in front of their boss, an important client, someone physically attractive, or anyone with high status who can advance their career. But the second they turn around, they display a cold, irritable, arrogant, and dismissive attitude toward a restaurant server, a rideshare driver, a janitor, or the newest intern in the office. This two-faced behavior turns all of your surface charm into a cheap, hypocritical performance. On a date, you might try your hardest to act like the perfect gentleman or lady for the person sitting across from you. But if you turn around and snap at a waiter because your food was 2 minutes late, your score instantly drops to 0. The person across the table isn't just watching how you treat that waiter. They are looking at a direct preview of how you will eventually treat them once you no longer feel the need to impress them. Conditional kindness is just like a spotlight. It only turns on when the right audience is sitting in the dark watching the show. Charm is how you treat people with the power and status you want. But true character is how you treat people who have nothing to offer you at all. Practice consistent, universal respect across every social hierarchy. Look service workers directly in the eye and say a genuine thank you. Never dump your personal stress or frustration onto people who hold less situational power than you. Stay patient with accidental mistakes. When your dignity and respect are authentic and unchanging, your attractiveness becomes permanent. Habit number 7, neglecting yourself and mistaking it for humility. Taking care of yourself has never meant chasing unrealistic perfection or killing yourself to fit society's rigid beauty standards. But when a person chronically neglects their most basic personal requirements, ignoring personal hygiene, wearing stained, wrinkled clothes, eating and sleeping chaotically, living in a bedroom piled with trash, slouching with defeated posture, and letting their mental health rot, they subconsciously broadcast a signal out to the universe. I don't value myself. I am a low-value human being, not worth taking care of. Self-neglect is not a sign of humility or living a simple, minimal life. It is a total collapse of self-respect. You cannot reasonably expect other people to cherish you and desire to step into your world when you are currently treating your own body and life like an abandoned junkyard. Your human self is just like a house. You don't necessarily need to build it into a lavish gold-plated palace. But you cannot expect people to feel warm and want to visit if you let that house sit covered in cobwebs, dirt, and clutter. Taking clean, intentional care of yourself is not vanity. It is the most visible external marketing of your internal self-respect. Build a daily minimum self-respect routine. Keep your body clean and fresh. Wear neat, intentional clothing that fits you well. Clear off your messy desk. Drink enough water. Go to sleep at a decent hour so your eyes look alive. And keep your spine tall and your shoulders rolled back whenever you walk into a room. The goal isn't to look like a retouched fashion model. The goal is to physically confirm to your own nervous system every morning, I am a human being of immense worth, and my life deserves to be treated with dignity and care. Because the most attractive magnetic version of you is never the flawless, perfect version. It is the most alive version, someone who is fully present, who treats people with respect, who is grounded in their own skin and radiating quiet vitality. Let's review our roadmap to reclaim your natural magnetism. Stop bringing heavy negativity into your conversations. Put your phone face down and truly be present. Refuse to bond through gossip and backbiting. Stop fishing for validation to soothe your ego. Listen to feedback instead of spiking your defensive armor. Treat every human being with consistent respect regardless of their status. And take care of yourself as if your presence truly matters. You don't need a brand new face, a trendy body, or a loud theatrical personality to be deeply attractive. Real magnetism isn't about making people drop their jaws the second they look at you. It is about this: when you walk out of a room, the people left behind feel lighter, warmer, and more confident in themselves just because they had a conversation with you. Imagine a future version of yourself walking into a gathering. You aren't forcing yourself to be the loud center of attention. You aren't nervously looking around to see who is judging or admiring you. You put your phone away. You listen with your eyes and your heart. You speak with genuine warmth. You smile without needing to mock or put anyone down. You stand tall, quiet, and grounded because you no longer feel the need to shrink your posture or beg for validation. People might not remember the exact designer brand of your shirt or how flawlessly your hair was styled that day, but they will remember forever the profound sense of peace, respect, and being deeply understood that they felt when sharing a space with you. Your face is just the business card introducing you to the world. But your daily habits are what decide if your presence is truly beautiful enough to keep. Now it is time to take action. Which habit are you choosing to change and practice first this week? Drop a comment below with the keyword presence to mark your quiet, powerful commitment to the journey. And if today's video served as an honest, direct wake-up call to help you see your energy clearly, hit that like button, share this with someone who values genuine personal growth, and make sure you subscribe to Tiny Truths. Because here we decode the simple, quiet, scientific truths to build a grounded, magnetic, and deeply alive inner self every single week. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next quiet space of presence.